Hey guys, I'm Ted. Welcome back to our lecture series, and right now I'm going to give you guys a fast fact regarding the United States victory in the Civil War. With the victories at Vicksburg and Gettysburg, many people took it that the writing was on the wall. Robert E. Lee's invincibility had been shattered. The United States began to mount a hard-pressed drive towards victory of driving through the Confederate States. With control of the Mississippi River and a full blockade of Confederate waters in place, Generals William Sherman and Philip Sheridan plowed through the South, destroying anything of value, and of course taking contraband from local slave owners. Sherman began his famous march from the sea, smiting some of the most productive agricultural lands in the Deep South. While that was going on, General Ulysses S. Grant was bleeding Lee's army of Northern Virginia white, and by April of 1865, the war was largely over. With Lee surrender at Appomattox Courthouse, the war effectively came to an end. Though the Deep South continued to fight with the core states, with the core states rallying on. It would not be until the fall of Birmingham that the war really came to an end. And it would not be until June 19th, 1860. It wouldn't not June 19th. Beginning in June 19th, 1865, the final press to close the war began with the collapse of the Second Texas Republic. Ironically, a war for states' rights and the preservation of slavery ended with the Confederate Congress infringing upon the rights of the Confederate States and offering freedom to any slave who will fight for the Confederate States. The South, the slave states was not really alone. The war changed the free states as well. At first, just the preservation of the Union was the reason that they went to war, but soon it became a crusade to end the practice of slaveholding. With the end of the war, a new question arose, and that was, now that slavery had been destroyed, what would take its place? A lot of action, a lot of activity going on there. The defeat of Robert E. Lee to surrender at Appomattox Courthouse on the 9th signaled the end of the Confederacy, but the Confederate government had escaped Richmond. They didn't really make it down to Birmingham, but the other states rallied on. The Deep South states, they rallied on. They wouldn't really give up until they heard about Johnston's surrender and all these other field commanders' surrender. With the military collapse imminent, their government fell and they themselves surrendered as well. Texas decided to fight on. It wouldn't be until much later in the year, toward the middle of the year, that Texas would be sort of brought back into the fold. The Emancipation Proclamation was read out loud, and then the 13th Amendment was read out loud, and that pretty much ended war. There wasn't a whole lot of battling done in Texas. The Texans sort of just bowled over at that point. But that's the fast fact, the quick fast fact on the United States drive to victory at the end of the United States Civil War. Hit like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you thought about the video. Let me know what you thought about the information. I hope you found it enlightening and informative. And as always, I'm Ted, and I'll see you guys next time for another fast fact.